Hello, and welcome to another episode of Fiber Mates. My name is Gay.
And I am Susanna.
We are here today to bring you another technique deep dive. This one is going to be about circular yoke sweaters. But before we get started, I would like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, the people of whose land we are recording today, and pay our respects to their elders past and present. Hi, Susanna.
Hi, Gaia.
Thanks for coming down to Fibermates HQ.
No, thanks for having me again.
No, it's really fun. I have been loving this theme that we've got going this year. And
Yeah, same.
today we've got a really special release or preview of release that's coming out in just where I'm planning to release this episode. It'll be 2 weeks before the Australian
Sheep and Wool Show.
Australian Sheep and Wool Show.
Yep, in Bendigo.
And that's where,
Ta-da! Yeah, this is the pepperberry jumper. And I'm sure by now I have been talking about it online a little bit more. It's part of the Tasmania collection that I'm releasing in Bendigo this year. So this is kind of like the piece that kind of ties everything together in that collection. So that's the garment. And this is a Louis and Lola Yarns collaboration, as I like to do in Bendigo. It's a 5-ply pattern and it fits today's theme because we're going to be talking about circular yokes. So this is a circular yoke design.
and it's fabulous. And this is the Andrea Mowry Wool and Honey that Susanna knit about 7 years ago, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I love the colour. I love the design. Just love that design. I think it's my favourite of hers. But I did gauge swatch and it wasn't matching the pattern and I ignored it. And it ended up being a bit of a bell-shaped kind of a situation that doesn't really suit my body shape, so I haven't been really wearing it much at all. And now it fits Gayanne perfectly.
And it is one of my favorite shapes to wear. Anything A-line.
Yeah, it looks really nice on me. I'm a bit jealous. That's not fair. Oh well.
Anyway,
it looks good on you.
I am loving wearing it right now. So,
Are we kind of matching?
yeah.
With our colour scheme here.
So with circular yokes, I think today what we'll do is very similar to our raglan episode. So we'll talk a little bit about the history of the circular yoke. We'll talk about the uses for it, some of the features, a little bit into the design. This circular yokes, I think, are very mathematical. So if you like percentages, fractions, those kinds of things, you're going to love circular yokes. So we'll talk a little bit about the maths.
Yeah.
And then
Maybe techniques
some techniques.
as well.
Techniques, pros and cons.
Yeah, some fit topics as well, and short row shaping, where to put it, how to do it, do you need it, what other modifications you might want to do or could do.
And then you've got a
that's
few. We have a couple
of examples.
Yeah, a couple of examples.
This is only my second circular yoke pattern, so I don't have a stack like I had last time. And for you, this is
I've got a whip to share a little bit later when we talk about it, and it's my first foray into circular yokes.
yeah. So I think this episode is coming from the point of view of someone who's not actually super experienced with circular yokes. So
Well, we've got beginner's mind, don't
Yeah,
we? So we're
yeah.
curious about them, how
Yeah.
we can do them, how we can make them, well, for me, how we make them very accessible.
And I think as a circular yoke for a knitter, yeah, I think it's a very approachable style. So it is a great first sweater, I think.
I was just thinking earlier today, because I've been knitting on mine furiously. Wanted to get to a certain point before we recorded.
And you made it.
I did. It was speed knitting.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, this would really be a fantastic first color work jumper.
Yeah.
I think for a more
I think so.
adventurous beginner. Thank you. I think an artist would be adventurous beginner. You want to try a colorwork yoke. It's
a knit at a bigger gauge as well, so it knits up fairly quick. Have you found it quick so far?
It's probably finished the whole yoke in like a week.
Oh yeah, so it's pretty speedy, and being colorwork as well, which is usually slower too.
It is slower because I don't, unless I'm doing like 1-1 stitches, I don't use both hands.
Oh, okay.
So I only, because I knit continental and not English, I can't do
You
both.
don't do the two-handed?
No, I actually don't know how to properly like tension and hold the yarn with my right hand.
Oh, I should teach you with my great expertise. I mean, coming from someone who's not really a good English knitter, but I taught myself, I probably said this so many times, but I taught myself to knit English style well enough to do two-handed colour work because I hated having to pick over and under the yarns.
Yeah, again, I literally have to have one yarn over here and then one yarn over here, and never the twain shall meet. Like I use my index finger of this hand to like kind of segregate that.
So you're kind of still using. Okay.
Yeah. And then when I do the 1-1, I just stab the yarn and then manually.
So you kind
wrap it around and then
you're kind
pull
of
the
doing
needle
it
out.
anyway.
Like, I feel like it's.
You're basically doing it.
I'm basically doing it, but I think the
tensioning was hard. I had to try a few different things before I found what worked for me, which was exactly the same as what I do in my right hand. Like, pretty obvious actually when you think about it. But I thought I'm going to try, because I don't do any wrapping. I know we're a little bit off topic, but
I know I have seen that people wrap their yarn, and
some people have, and it looks really cool. I have one friend, she does like so many different wraps, and it looks like a little dance with her hands. It looks really cool, and I don't do any of that. And when I was learning English style, I tested different kinds of wraps, and it never worked for my hands. It just always felt that it was like too tight somehow. So I kind of just hold it like against my palm with my other fingers somehow.
I also have a colorwork ring.
Oh yeah,
right? Like just one of the basic ones.
Yeah.
That I have used. Oh, I used it when I knit Alma.
Did you enjoy that?
I did. It is a bit fiddly to make sure you've got the right tension and that you've got the yarn in the right spot. Like if it comes out or like
the dominance thing.
Yeah. And probably the only reason I didn't pull it out is because I was going at an okay rate for me. Like I was enjoying the process, and to interrupt that to try and find the colorwork ring, which I have no idea where it is right now. Which I don't know. Is that lazy? Maybe I should have just tried to find it.
I mean, clearly didn't need it that badly.
No.
If you didn't bother finding it.
No.
Did you get a really nice one, or?
No, it's like the standard. I think Clover makes them, or whoever that.
So I know there's a Finnish, like a jewelry maker, and she does really nice. I don't remember her name now. I don't have one.
I'll take the opportunity to say that anything that we mention will be linked below. We'll try and I think I have Googled that because we've had this discussion before.
I'll see if I can find her as well. They're really pretty.
They are really pretty.
But yeah, to try, I should probably get just a basic one.
The $7 one.
Yeah, but I do really enjoy my two-handed colour work.
It's actually not bad, and I just feel like really
like a beginner.
Yeah, because I'm just like wrap the yarn around, and then literally like have the needle in my hand like this, and I just go It feels so clunky compared to when I'm just knitting
you just don't have the
continental.
practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was doing the brioche demonstration at the Geelong market, I was trying to show it English style.
Oh gosh.
And they were laughing at me.
You can be done, right? But brioche really lends itself to continental knitting.
I think
like,
so. It's so much like the movements are really economical with continental, whereas with English style you kind of have to
put the little...
like you have to kind of bring it back more. Kind of, I don't know. It's a bigger movement.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
So anyway,
okay. Should we
side question?
I know. That's all right.
Again.
Let's back to circular yokes.
Yep.
So, history. Where have they come from?
All right, to start my little history presentation that I studied for all night yesterday, so I started early, as always. I did a little bit of I wouldn't call it a deep dive, maybe like a shallow dip into the history. And this was actually the best resource that I found was the Kate Davies Yokes book from 2014. So it's been around for quite a while. But it has a really long section right at the start talking all about the history. So if you're really interested, then I would recommend reading this because this is going to be a very abbreviated story. But based on this and other sources as well, it seems like the first published circular yoke pattern came out in 1930 in Norway, of all places.
Okay.
So not Iceland, like probably most people think.
Because that's it's traditionally those color work yoke sweaters.
Well, they really have kind of made it their own, and it seems like the North Atlantic region is what's most often referred to. So there's Norway, Sweden, Denmark, the Shetland Islands, Iceland seem to be kind of where the yoke styles have really been popular from the early 20th century onwards. So knowing that the first pattern came out in 1930, it was like those styles were probably starting to come out. Like people were probably knitting those styles already before that, maybe, but we don't know for sure. But the inspiration for this design, it was called Eskimo, and
the design that was published.
Yeah,
that was the name of it.
Yeah, it was actually. I'll find the photo. You can add it. It's actually a really nice looking design. Wonder if you could find it somewhere. But
well, let's check on Ravelry, and if we can, we'll put in the link.
Yeah, but we can definitely find the photo. There's a photo of the design, and the inspiration that the designer had for it. Her name was, I want to say Anneke Sibben, I think. We'll maybe add that to the notes as well. Yeah. And she was a textile researcher in Norway as well as a designer. So she would go and travel around Norway, like gathering like the traditional Norwegian motifs that they use, because there's a lot of hand knitting and colour work knitting in Norway, but not really a lot of circular yokes yet. And then she went to see this movie called Eskimo, which was the first spoken movie in Norwegian in Norway, actually, which is kind of an interesting bit of history.
We need to put this in our next trip.
Yeah. And Eskimo is obviously referring to Inuit people, which is not really the term that we're using anymore, but at that time it was the term that was used. And they might also be part of like a political kind of a movement, because Greenland used to kind of belong to Norway, and then Norway, I don't know all the ins and outs, but then Norway and Denmark kind of, I don't know, merged, or did someone, I don't know.
Had an arrangement.
They had some kind of an arrangement happen, and Norway became part of Denmark, and then Greenland became part of Denmark through that as well. But then when Norway separated from Denmark, Greenland was left behind with Denmark, and there was a little bit of a political movement. Norway was kind of wanting to make a claim to at least a portion of Greenland. And then so the movie and this design might have also been like a political statement. And the inspiration, if we go back to the movie, the inspiration is actually like a beaded, colourful yoke that was part of the sort of traditional costume of the Inuit people. Sort of modern day versions. This is from the Kate Davies book.
It's beautiful photography. Beautiful photography in this book.
Yeah. So they're really colourful sort of geometric designs, and you can really see
it's like the traditional kind of what are they called? Lopi pesa.
Yeah, the Icelandic ones. So that's kind of where the idea came for. Again, a Swedish actor in a Norwegian movie acting an Eskimo. You can kind of see she's wearing the.
Yeah, she's got that.
Kind of see it there. I actually googled how to pronounce it. It's the Nui Lamute.
Nui Lamute.
Yeah. Sorry if anyone knows how to pronounce it. It was probably terrible. But Nui Lamute is the name of that.
The beaded cape.
Yeah. And part of that costume was also like cuffs that had the beading as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And there was like a black seal fur or something collar above it as well. And I think it was just a cape that you just put it over other pieces. So the first circular yoke actually had black collar and cuffs, and then the colour work detail below them. But yeah, and also I read, I think in this book, that that cape was also kind of grew from a smaller detail into a bigger cape through like the nationalist sort of movement in Greenland in the late 1800s. So it's all kind of, there's like politics tied in there, and the sort of national identity kind of politics are playing a part in how it's all coming together, which is quite interesting.
It is, because I think in the knitting community, oftentimes
it is actually
some
a big part.
politics can influence some designs. So
so it seems like this might be kind of connected with the politics of the time as well.
And then it's gone from there, I think.
Yeah.
Through.
So apparently that particular style was very popular all through the 30s, and then it kind of started spreading. And I think at the same time, the same kind of influences were also, coming to Denmark, and from there Greenland as well, and Iceland. And there was another Norwegian designer in UK who was inspired by the same garments a little bit later. And the Shetland Islands started making their own versions. But it's interesting as well how you can really see the different traditions are really interpreting the yoke style with their own motifs and colours, and kind of there's some really typical kind of traditions, like with what the motifs are and how they're arranged, that I actually didn't know until I started researching yesterday. So the the knitting nerd in me is coming out. I kind of get into all these
I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, it is interesting. It is like cultural history, so it's interesting. Iceland is probably the next logical step, because we kind of all know more about the circular yoke as being the Icelandic sweater, and it actually, again, nationalism kind of comes into it, because Iceland didn't become independent until 1944, and that's kind of when the jumper was kind of, I think, became a bit more of a symbol of Iceland after that, so in the 50s and 60s, and together with the wool production and a more commercial way of producing the wool. Oh, fun fact, did you know that in Iceland, before they make the current yarns, they used to actually by hand separate the guard hairs and the
Oh my god.
wool.
No.
Yeah, there used to be like, they would use the wool, but they would actually manually, I don't know how they did
Wow.
it, but they would be separated by hand.
Wow. That's
So, yeah. I did not know that. So when they created this new production where it's all kind of spun together,
mm-hmm.
and they started making thicker yarn and using all of the yarn together, and then the circular yoke pattern, I think it kind of really worked well with the yarn, and it kind of all happened simultaneously. So
yeah, that makes sense because
yeah,
that a type of yarn is amazing for a colorwork yoke.
it is. And it's very practical for outerwear as well. It's sturdy and kind of keeps water off as well, and yeah. So yeah, I didn't delve into the Icelandic side too much, but yeah. Oh, and another interesting thing is that there's like two. It seems like there's two. There's probably more, but two kind of distinct traditions where Scandinavians would already be working everything in the round with circular needles. And in the Shetlands, they would actually often work the body and the sleeves flat and piece it together by hand or even by machine, and then do the yoke by hand afterwards to make it, because it was a the apparently in Shetland they didn't actually, because they have their beautiful all over colourwork patterns, and that's what they would hand knit for themselves, and this was actually a commercial product for the knitters, that they would actually get the machine knit body and sleeves that were just plain. They would even get them sent over, and then they would just make the yokes.
Oh, that's kind of neat, right?
Yeah,
Because then you just like mix
exactly. And I think
everything
some
together
knitters
and
still do it now. I actually think Karen from Knitting Mat recommends. She made anarash.
Yeah.
I think she might have machine knit the body.
Well, could you crank? Do you like a sock cranker? Could
don't
you
know.
crank a sleeve?
Probably.
Right? Because
I don't know how
a tube,
the-
isn't it?
Yeah, but
If
I don't
you
the
know-
shaping. Yeah,
If you have
interesting.
a crank machine and know if you could actually crank a sleeve, put it in the comments.
That'd be interesting to know.
I've never used it.
And can you add shaping? Or is it then you just have straight sleeves and that's it?
Oh,
Well, that's a
that's
straight
true.
sleeve actually.
But if you have a straight sleeve, you could just
Yeah,
knit the cuff, like hand knit the cuff,
yeah, true.
and then you've got the balloon feature.
I know. Anyway, yeah, that was kind of an interesting thing. And for me, I had never really associated Shetland knitting with yokes.
Or machine knitting, to be honest. But yeah.
But it was an industry there, so. And then another sort of interesting sort of style of yoke is the Swedish Bohus stickning, or is it Bohus stickning? I think that's what it's called, which is basically Bohus knitting, and Bohus is an area or a town in Sweden. And that's actually, are you familiar with Bohus knitting?
I'm not bohos knitting. It's like a whole design.
Yeah, it's like it's really a
Aesthetic.
yeah, and I think that one's a very sort of, again, Kate Davies' book that I'm showing here.
Did you just get that on like Kindle?
Yeah,
There's an electronic version available.
I actually bought it on her website, but you can also get it on Ravelry.
Oh.
I bought it on her website, and then I got a code to get the Ravelry version as well. So £25. So I thought
That's
that was
not bad.
Don't know what the exchange rate even is at the moment.
I don't either.
Anyway, I think it's worth it.
I guess, but did you say those patterns aren't necessarily size inclusive?
They're not size inclusive, so they only go up to, same with the other book that I'll talk about later.
But I suppose if you're just looking for knowledge about the technique.
Yeah, there's 10 sizes, but they are in 2-inch or 5-centimeter increments.
Oh, so
it ends with the 134 centimeter finished bust, or what is it in inches? 52 3/4.
Yeah.
In inches finished bust. So it doesn't quite
meet the technical definition.
No, it's actually quite far from it.
It's
really.
about 30 centimeters.
Yeah.
Off.
Yeah, depending on the ease. That's a bit of a minus, but great for the history in one place.
The Bauhaus.
Bauhaus knitting. So that was actually, it was a designer, and she kind of created the designs and the yarn, the Angora yarn. That's kind of part of that look, where you get that sort of luminous.
It's like fluffy and not let me back up. When you do color work, you're normally going for like really stark, what do they call it? When the colors are different. Contrast, thank you. Whereas in that example photo that you just showed, it's much more fluid, or and less, a bit less contrast.
It's a little bit less about the pattern and more about the interplay of the color and the texture and they're really beautiful. I hadn't really paid a lot of attention to this style before.
Oh, I feel like you had a little twinkle in your eye when you were talking about that. I feel like there might be some design juices flowing.
Because they are really...
Oh, that one has baubles.
Yeah. So she designed them, and they were actually, they came out of an initiative, I want to say in the 50s, where it was a community where there wasn't a lot of work for women. It wasn't even during the war. Oh, okay, my details are a little bit hazy. But anyway...
If it was during the war, it could have been in the 40s, which would also make sense.
Yeah. But thereabouts. And there was a need for work for women in that area. So it was kind of created as an initiative to create work for these women. So there was a lady who designed, actually to start with for free. She would do the designs, and then these ladies would knit them and make money by knitting. Yeah, and they were really targeting became a bit of an exclusive kind of product, and they were even like Ingrid Berryman. There's a photo of her wearing one. And another interesting thing there was that there was 2 styles. There was old yoke and new yoke styles, where the old yoke is what we think of as a circular yoke now.
Yeah.
And the new yoke was actually a fitted sweater with like set-in sleeves, and then the yoke would be and it'd be like a shaped situation, and then the yoke would actually be knit into that, so you'd get that sort of tailored fit, but with the circular yoke detail, which is kind of what's really hard to achieve with circular. Haven't we even talked about the construction yet?
No.
All right, well, we can probably move on to construction next.
Yeah. So the main feature of circular yokes is these sets of increases. There's usually a minimum of 3 and probably max around 5 or 6. Maybe sometimes you might have shaping rounds where the stitches are increased at a generally even rate across or around the yoke. You can do them top down, you can do them bottom up, but generally there are 3 cylinders, like we talked about with the machine knit ones, right? You've got
like if you're working from bottom up, you have 2 sleeves and the body, and they're like 3 cylinders,
right?
And then
there's a cone,
right? Yeah.
But unlike the raglan, where the decreases are concentrated at the shaping lines, decreases, if you're bottom up, or increases, if you're top down,
Yeah.
are spaced evenly.
Yeah.
So the
you,
yoke is like a funnel.
Yeah, you get a sort of even symmetrical funnel shape.
I was gonna call it triangle. I suppose funnel is like more 3D.
3D
Yeah. Than
version
like
of triangle. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, because you could
basically
knit them
a funnel.
flat. You could knit it flat and
You could.
seam it.
Yeah.
But
Or knit it flat for a cardigan.
knit it flat for a cardigan.
Yeah.
I think they really lend themselves to circular design, like circular needles.
Yeah.
Or circular knitting.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Yeah, you can work them flat, but then you end up having a very sort of heavy, long piece.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
You could do it, and then, but you'd also have to figure out where to put the seam, right? So
Yeah, I think unless you're making a cardigan, it doesn't really make sense. Like, it seems to add structure, but with circular yokes, that's probably why they are often colour work. Colour work is naturally creates structure in the fabric, but it is a real consideration with a yoke that you do need structure in the fabric, whether it comes from the fibre selection or from the stitch pattern that you're using, but there is no seams, so it does make it sort of well, I wanted to say vulnerable, but not really vulnerable, but it's something that you need to consider when you're making it to make sure that it doesn't like sag out of shape.
yeah, so like the jumper that you're wearing has the color work.
Yeah, it has a slip stitch pattern, and also talking about the material selection, this is non-superwashable, so it is naturally not as drapey is the word that I'm looking for.
And same with this one.
Yeah.
And this has the, I'll maybe insert a photograph, but it has the honeycomb.
Yeah, is it like a...
Is it slips? Not slips.
kind of like a
twisted stitches?
stitch
Or are they?
cable kind of pattern. So cable patterns are another great one for yokes because they naturally get a little bit more structure with the crossed stitches. So maybe a circular yoke brioche might be a... They look pretty.
Oh
There
no!
are
I
some.
feel like there are some
There are
because
some,
they
yeah.
can do the.
Yeah, there's
what
some
was
really
that?
pretty ones actually.
Was there
But
one in the Moomin book? I think Danny from A Knitter's Suitcase
wasn't that a raglan?
might have been a raglan.
But I've seen some really pretty ones where they have like the...
Because brioche increases are
Yeah. I think there was one
decorative.
on the front page of Ravelry for a while. I wonder if it's still there. Yeah.
Yes,
It is.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
There you go, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I've seen that a few times. So, it can be done.
What kind of yarn is it?
English and German. So it's Sandnes Garn Alpaca Wool, which is alpaca wool blend. And it's a worsted weight yarn.
So it'll be drapey, but it'll have some heft.
Yeah. I think maybe it's just something you really need to consider with the neckline. Like you need to have a really firm neckline and just have the...
What needle size is it on? Knit on a 4.
4.
So a 10 ply yarn on a 4
Yeah.
millimeter.
Yeah.
It's going to give you pretty dense.
Yeah.
A dense knit.
And probably just have the stretch of the fabric built into the design, so
Yeah.
it's designed to be...
Designed to stretch, basically. So you're knitting it and you're probably like, wow, this is going to look really small, but then once it's...
Yeah. This one's actually really showcases the 3 increase rounds quite well because they're really visible in the brioche. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, the branches.
Yeah.
How they branch off.
It's really pretty.
Mm.
But yeah, another sort of way to arrange the shaping in a circular yoke is in wedges, and that's probably in the Icelandic sweaters. That is the most common way to do it, where you have the colourwork chart and it's got the shaping built into it.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen that done with cables as
some
well.
really nice ones.
Yeah.
I haven't actually knit one or designed one, so I can't really say much.
No, but
it's on the bucket list. I
It
think.
actually is. I have that on my list. I've got some yarn. Some yarn for that project too. Anyway,
One day.
one day, it'll all get knit up. All right, where are we going? Components. So we've done top down, bottom up, 3 cylinders, the funnel. You can really plop any kind of neckline. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, any kind of neck, but we were talking about it before, and I don't think it really lends itself to a V-neck.
Not naturally, no.
I
I mean, you could do it. You could probably go to Ravelry now.
know, right?
Find
Circular
another
yoke
front page.
V-neck search.
I've never seen one.
It would be a bit
I think
more
it can be
difficult
done.
to do, but
Yeah,
not impossible.
yeah. I think it kind of a little bit goes against the grain with that. Oh, another thing I did want to say about, we were talking about the shaping rows.
Yes.
Because I could actually use this as an example of, and actually Anaras as well, as an example of a design that lends itself really well to having the shaping rows. And this is this is a top-down jumper. So I've done shaping sort of in the stockinette sections in between the sort of colour work pattern, and it makes it a really easy knit as well, because you're not working a pattern and shaping at the same time. And it kind of makes it go fast. It's kind of a fun way to do it as well, because you're just doing an increase round, a little bit of stockinette, and then you do another bit of colour work. So I think it's beginner friendly as well, like that.
And because the color work is not stranded.
It's not. It's
Can I give that away?
yeah. It's fine. This is not a secret. This one.
It's not stranded, so you're only working one yarn at a time.
Yeah, it's like a variation on like a textured slip stitch pattern. So you're working with one color at a time, and when you're making the pattern, you are still working with float. So there's that float tensioning situation that's kind of important to make this stitch pattern look good, because if it's too tight, I don't know if it shows up well, but you have these floats at the front of the work, and then with the bright red color you actually kind of knitting under those floats and pulling them up, so you need that space for them to kind of,
because you like tax it down almost.
So you like doing little tents. So that's why that's kind of a very important thing to get right. That's probably the hardest part. Because that's the thing with circular yokes. If you look at the techniques, can we talk about the techniques involved? There aren't really, like in a basic circular yoke construction, there aren't really any complicated techniques. There's not a lot of seaming either. So you, at its most basic, you have a cast on, you do your most likely a ribbed neckline, could be something else, and then you just create the funnel shape with your, well, at its most basic it can be just stockinette stitch and shaping rounds at specified intervals, and then you do separate for body and sleeves, make the sleeves potentially with shaping, body potentially with shaping, could be just straight, and probably finish it with another ribbed or other edging, can be any kind of basic bind off, and then join the underarms. I've used Kitchener stitch here because I like that it doesn't really create a seam in there. It's more comfortable, or it could be a 3 needle bind off. So there's not really anything tricky. You need to know your knits and purls, one bind off, one cast on,
and your increase technique,
and increase and decrease technique. Actually, one note about increase technique for the yoke is that, especially if you're doing a design like this where you're working a lot of increases in one, and this is particularly when you're working top down and you're making a lot of increases, the type of the increase that you use actually makes a difference.
A huge difference. It's a huge difference.
Yeah. So if you're using the make one right or left increase, where you're pulling up a bar from the previous row, that technique is not recommended, because you're actually tightening the stitches on either side of that bar slightly. And if you're making an increase every 2-3 stitches, you're tightening the stitches on that previous row a lot, and that's really emphasizing the sort of rippling effect that you might get on the increase row, because you're increasing but at the same time you're tightening the row above it. Have you noticed that? Sounds like, you know.
Yeah, I've seen it. Well, if you have a circular yoke without like a highly patterned yoke, like if it's quite plain, then I think the increases become way more visible. I was looking at it, I can't remember what petite knit pattern it was, but I was like, oh, look at all those increases. Like I suppose it can be, you could look at it as a design feature. Yeah. But if you want a plain sweater that is even and straight, then that's
was it using difficult. That technique, or do you think it was just visible for other reasons?
I'm not exactly sure because I didn't look at the pattern. I don't have the pattern. I was just looking at the photographs. It might have been
because that's definitely not just how it looks. It is actually like a functional thing. Like you might even feel like that it's actually a little bit tight. That
like so it loses some stretch.
And creates a sort of a line that pulls in a little bit. So the increase type that I have used and recommend, I don't know if it's the only good one actually, but it works, is the lifted increases, where we're actually lifting the stitch from the row below and you're knitting into that and then working the actual stitch that was above it separately, so you're making a stitch like that, and that doesn't stretch the stitch from the previous row at all, so that works really well, and I think it's a little bit more invisible as well.
We'll see in a few minutes when we when we look at it. You can use mine as a test case.
And then this is getting a little bit technical, but maybe an interesting thing to know is that in this one, when I was placing the increases, I strategically placed the increase around really close to the stitch pattern. So because of this stitch pattern does give the fabric a little bit of structure because of the floats, you kind of lose that any potential flaring effect that you might get after that row. When you have the texture over it, it kind of hides it really well, and you can't really see well, this is the dark yarn as well, but it's kind of really hard to see them at all.
It is, and I'm like probably too close.
So it worked out really well, but there's always little things that you can do to really fine tune details.
Should we talk about the percentages, because it's where you not where, but the number of stitches that you increase from this circle, your neck, to this circle where you slip 4 sleeves needs to have some kind of proportion to your body.
Yeah, there's definitely rules with the ratios, and it actually depends a little bit on your body shape, what works best for your body. So you might find that some designers' yokes fit you better than others.
Of course.
Because if you have really sloped shoulders versus really square shoulders, different ratios might work for you. But generally, sort of a general rule of thumb is that most of the shaping should be at the top half of the yoke. And if you have anything in the bottom half, it's like, off the top of my head, it was like 10 to 20% at the bottom half. And then the top half, if you divide it into 2 quarters again, then you kind of divide most of the shaping equally between the 2 quarters, or if anything, have a little bit more at the top. But this is where probably the body shape comes into play, is what proportion is right at the top and which proportion is a little bit lower.
So if you have a broader shoulder line, you would want to have more increases.
Or a more angular shoulder line as well.
Whereas if you were more shaped like that, then you want a little bit smaller at the top, and then go increase. But the thing is, you have to incorporate not only the body circumference, but the arm, at least part of the arm circumference as well.
So you're just taking off the portion that's under the arm, and the bottom circumference includes the top of the sleeve and the body circumference and the second sleeve as well. So it's especially when you go for the larger sizes, there's quite a big difference from your neckline too.
And that's can be a problem if you try to do it just a straight proportion, right? Because then you end up with a incredibly deep yoke. Which,
for example.
Yeah, so unless you're like 6.5 feet tall, you are not going to want to have a 40 centimeter yoke. Yoke depth, right? That reaches down to my belly button. Which, my sleeves aren't coming out here.
Yeah, I think even in the larger sizes, the yokes don't need to be anything than maybe max 35-ish, I want to say. But that's also a personal, like, body proportion thing anyway. Like, I'm shorter, so for me, a more shallower yoke would work as well. But then, yeah, it's like your body proportions and your style preference both kind of play into it, whereas I tend to like a slightly deeper yoke depth as well, because then if you have something underneath it, it doesn't bunch up and
you've got a bit more room.
Yeah, but it is a design or sort of style choice and comfort.
I do.
Preference as well.
I have wanted to knit a swan show, though, where the arms kind of come out here.
Yeah,
but
where it is actually more of a cape
type
thing. Yeah, I think it's trendy right now.
I think they're pretty trendy.
Yeah. It's a lot of knitting, but I guess there's no sleeves really.
It is a lot of knitting.
They're very pretty.
I think Olga Putano, she's actually got that beautiful book, Only Yoking, which I don't have. I wanted to buy it because I just love the name, actually.
There's some really nice designs there.
Her Lina book that has come out has some really fun swan show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Field Notes, I think it's called.
That came out this year, didn't it?
Either this year or late last year.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've seen that one.
I think I might have to go buy that one, actually.
It's really nice. Actually, someone worth mentioning in the history section, but we didn't actually get to the more modern times, talking about the 70s here.
70s, modern.
More contemporary.
I think it was hysterical when people are referring to things like in the 90s as vintage.
I know. It's like, what do you mean? That was yesterday.
I'm like, wait a minute.
I know, you kind of forget. That was 50 years ago now.
How did we get here?
I know. Showing your age. But Elizabeth Zimmerman, she's done a few different books. I actually really like this one because it's she really goes through like several different sweater constructions. I think I was showing this the last time too. And she has these sort of ratios for yokes that work really well for your sort of middle of the range or in the smaller end of the size range. But like you were saying, if you need to go like to very large or very small, then they might not really work quite as well.
Yeah, you'll have to do a bit more math for that. Or this book, which we also mentioned in our last one, the Vogue Knitting Guide, also has a guide on how to calculate.
Yeah, that was actually a really good diagram.
This one?
Yeah, sorry I interrupted.
That's okay. You're not going to be able to see that.
Oh, that one's a bit low now. It was just a really good diagram showing when you're working bottom up, when you're joining the body and sleeves, how the work looks when it's all joined up, when it's just joined up at the bottom of the yoke. But that's the same process in raglan as well. Like it's identical up to that point, and then the yoke shaping defines the yoke versus raglan. Yeah, you were saying, sorry.
Oh no, it was just about the percentages as well. Yeah,
it has a really good breakdown. And then another topic that I don't think we've touched on it is the short row shaping.
Oh yeah. So we actually discussed quite a bit in our raglan episode about short row shaping, but mainly at the neckline. This sweater that I have has short row shaping, say that 10 times fast, that only comes around to basically the sides or where you might have a side seam. There's obviously no seams, but half of the neck stitches.
Yeah, it's literally like raising the back of the neck. It's not touching the front at all. So that's kind of one method of doing it. And I really feel like that it's like designers have their preferences, and I've seen sort of good reasoning for both options. I personally prefer to do it the way like I've done here, where the shaping
comes up to here.
Yeah, it actually comes kind of like in a crew neck shaping. You'd have a little bit of a straight section at the front, and then you'd have the shaping sort of gradually. I even did the gradual, so it's a little bit wider the distance, and then it goes. So it is actually, in my view, it does kind of affect the shape of the neckline slightly, even though it's still like you can't adjust the size of the neckline really, like the circumference is what it is. So there's only so much short row shaping you can do, like you can't completely change the shape of the neckline.
You could put it, I was just thinking, like maybe you could do a little short row V-neck.
Yeah, I think at that point, like anything deeper, you'd actually want to work it flat, really.
Yeah.
Because, I don't think it would. I mean, you could try it. Let me know how it goes. Prove me wrong. But then with circular yokes, some people really prefer to have the short row shaping at the bottom of the yoke. So it would be either just after you join or just before you split. You could have it like along here. And apparently with that shaping as well, I haven't tried it personally because I tend to have the problem that I have too much fabric at the back anyway. But you can either do the same thing where you end it here and you do it just along the back, or other designers like to bring it forward sort of in a similar way where it kind of blends into the front a little bit as well.
Yeah, can I put in a trick question that we haven't workshopped actually? Is like whether if you did that, could you incorporate bust shaping, or do you not need to incorporate bust shaping because of the funnel nature of it?
That's the thing that that's why I've been hesitant to try it, because they kind of would be working against each other. Like if you are adding bust shaping and you adding the short row shaping at the bottom there, they're working against each other.
Yeah.
Like they're literally doing the opposite thing. So I'm not sure how that would work. That's been my sort of question with that. And that's why for me I felt like doing just that little bit right at the top has been a good option.
I like short row shaping at the neck for the practical reason of I know what is the front and which is the back of my sweaters. Yeah. Because I'm not good about putting in a little tie or something at the back.
But if you have a body shape where you have more of a hunched back, then having it at the bottom might work really well. If you have a smaller bust and you don't need to worry about what's happening around bust shaping, then maybe it is a nice way to do it. And the bonus with that, which is kind of the opposite of what you were just saying,
right,
is that if you don't want that neck piece, if you want the uninterrupted if you want the neckline to look the same all the way around,
like fully symmetrical,
then you get it can be a really beautiful detail in the yoke. But for me, it hasn't seemed. And in a design like this one, for example, you couldn't really do that because the pattern is going all the way down.
Yeah, you that would be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, it actually wouldn't work because you couldn't put them in. Yeah, it would mess up the sequence of the striping. So you really only want to do that when there is plain knitting under the design
Mm-hmm.
part. And another interesting little factoid: how to measure like the maximum height of how many short rows you can add to the back of the neck without getting that like bunched up situation that you can get if you have too many short rows here. It can kind of, like, the neck will not lay flat against your body, it will kind of start standing up or puckering. Was actually that the shoulder drop distance was actually defining how many short rows you can do. I don't actually know what the relationship, like how that works geometrically, but that's what she was saying, that if you measure your shoulder drop, and that can vary from person to person.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the square and sloping shoulder.
Is it kind of like, all right, I'm going out on a limb here. Is it an isosceles triangle? Like, is that, because it's, and then that's the shoulder drop?
Could
the
be.
angle of, so it will depend on the angle.
Yeah.
All of the math people, because I know you're out there, you can totally call me out in the comments.
Yeah. Explain why. I haven't tried it, but with my patterns I've been kind of on the conservative side where I'll add some short row shaping, but I'm not really trying to push it as far as I can.
Yeah.
And it seems to work. But apparently most people, it's between 1 and 2 inches is the sort of shoulder drop.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that makes sense. It's about
yeah, I have quite a square set shoulder, so I probably have less.
I don't know. Do I have slopey shoulders or square
Yeah,
shoulders?
I think you have more of a slope on your shoulder.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why it looks good. Damn it. And then one more fit to, probably, I don't know, is this off topic at the moment, but a sort of fit adjustment tip that I have done in this one a little bit is that if you have a larger bust like me, then before you are dividing for body and sleeves, you can actually have a little bit more stitches at the front than back. So the sleeves are further back and that creates a little bit of space, but I wouldn't go too drastic with it because I think at some point it will really start affecting how the whole front of the garment will kind of hang.
Where the sleeves are.
Yeah,
to that.
I think at some point it would start creating too much distortion, and if you really wanted to have a large adjustment, then I would recommend doing a little bit more math and actually calculating a different ratio for the front of the body. So you're actually not creating the extra space here, you're just adding it as you're going down.
You could do a bit of shaping too, like closer down here.
Yeah. Oh, you could also, like, easily, especially if you have a... could you do it in this one? Not really. You can't really do it... Like, you can't add horizontal bust darts easily to a design like this one because it would be very visible here. But if you just have a yoke with a pretty pattern here and plain bottom, then...
you could totally add...
It's just easy
like
to
if your
add.
yoke stops here and then you could just add them
Yeah,
there.
you just add the bust darts when you're going down or on your way up, like you would any other garment, really. That's easy to do.
We were going to talk about ease.
Yeah.
I think our view, you tell me if I'm wrong, is that circular yokes lend themselves more to positive ease than negative ease, because if you think of what this funnel would be like if it was, if you're
really skin tight. You don't have enough shaping really to make it feel comfortable. It'd be very constricting, I think.
You struggle to type, so no workwear there. Just like, or maybe you could actually type.
Yeah, maybe just
you're not doing anything else. It's going to be very tight and constricting.
Yeah, yeah. And also, proportion-wise, if you have a deeper yoke, you need more ease. If you have less ease, you need to... Like, if you have a pattern, for example, and it's designed to have more ease, but you want to have it with less ease, you would want to check your yoke depth and adjust it and make it smaller so that... Because if you have a really tight fit and then you have I think I talked about this in Raglands as well, because I was talking about the toe skin thing. It starts to restrict your movement, so you need to make sure that the underarm is sitting closer to your body.
Yeah.
At that point.
Mm-hmm.
There was one more book I had. I'll have a quick look to see if there's. Oh, I did want to show the other book I had on my Kindle, because that one had interesting. Like, if you're really interested in sort of designing yoke patterns or drafting a yoke jumper for yourself, this book, I'll show you the diagram quickly first, and
It's like super helpful.
yeah, and it's actually including the cross back width, which is the only sort of diagram where I've seen that measurement be a part of the conversation with fitting yokes. So if you're really interested in fine-tuning the yoke fit, then this book is really good. Again, this is not size inclusive at all. So it's really, it does have, I think, 10 patterns, but it does have really good sort of yoke math, and it is called The Art of Circular Yokes by Kerry
Bogert.
Kerry Yoke.
Sorry, Kerry, we're butchering your name.
Kerry Bogert.
But your book's amazing. Bogert.
Yeah.
It was in script on the front of the cover, to our defense. Can we talk about Anaris now? Because I'm super excited. It's afternoon and we're losing quite a bit of light because the sun sets on the other side of the house too.
I thought you were going to say we're losing the plot.
Well, that too.
So this is the finished jumper. Oops, still got my tag on it as well. So this is actually knit in the Icelandic Letlopi.
Oh, here, I've got some
yarn.
I've got some here because I'm knitting mine. Oops, sorry about the crinkle. Especially to those people who are wearing earphones.
Oh yeah, all the sounds.
It's sold in these little 50-gram balls. 50 or are these
50?
25?
No, they're 50s. What's that? And then that's supposed to be like they call it DK? Or worsted. No, can't be.
Of course it's over the...
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere it is called DK, but it knits up quite big.
This is the thing, right? We had our whole thing about yarn last year, right? This is 50 grams and it's 100 meters.
Yeah.
A DK weight yarn here that's made is generally 200 meters per 100 grams.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is, well, over here it's called 8-ply, which is converted to DK, but DK...
Right?
I think is usually more like 220 to...
It's a bit thinner,
that's
right?
250 actually, because it's 200 meters for the 80 gram skein. That's Fiberace Fay yarn, by the way.
Which we also really like.
Which we love. Which I can, in my mind, that's a DK, and this is a...
This would be a bit heavier, make an Aran or a worsted.
Yeah, but it definitely knits up bigger.
It's so quickly, so it knits up very quickly. Maybe
the gauge is, did I write it here? What's the gauge? 18 stitches.
Maybe a project for metal needles.
Yeah, it's very sticky. So,
anyway, you really can't see. That's a black.
But it's got these beautiful heathered colours through it.
It is. Really nice. It's amazing. When I bought this actually at Webb's Yarn in Massachusetts when I was overseas like 5 years ago. When you I feel like it's when you could actually freely go overseas. I don't know why overseas trips are kind of seeming insurmountable in my head right now. But it's got purple and green and yellow actually, but like it's like a golden.
Kind of, that's the bright green, really bright green.
Which is why I picked it, because then I took my other colors that match.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favourite things about Lopi yarns is the heathered colour blends that you get with it. But yeah, it's not for everyone. It is considered a scratchy yarn by many.
Toothy.
Toothy. Yeah, scratchy sounds a bit aggressive. So I did want to make this one in the Lope yarn, just kind of as a nod to the Circular Yoke design. And this one's actually, this yoke is also a little bit on the deep side, but the colourwork pattern actually extends beyond the yoke as well, so it's not quite as deep as the colourwork pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And I've used the same method in this one where I have it's a top down sweater, and I've sort of tucked the increase rounds between the colourwork section, so the colourwork charts are just straight. There's no shaping
Here's
in
my
those.
version. Wait, it'll be like that, right? Where's my short rows?
There we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can kind of see here they're hiding, but I've started the short row shaping quite close to the front,
Mm-hmm.
and they're actually all done by the side seam, so they're all happening at the front of the garment.
I am literally just about to split for sleeves,
Yeah.
which is why it's all bunchy.
These colours are so pretty.
Yeah, I'm
the
super happy with
the
how
magic
it's-
of blocking with colour work, right?
And can I just say this yarn is really forgiving for floats.
Because it is so grippy. The floats just kind of find their own place.
They do their own thing. I just make
Yeah.
sure that
That you
I'm
are.
not gripping like 20 stitches in my fist.
Yeah, you want to make sure that the sleeves are separated on the needle
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
And if you notice, it's a provisional cast on. There's no ribbing here, so
Yeah.
that's something that I like to do with my top-down sweaters, if it makes sense, is to actually do the edging last.
I'm actually super excited for the little detail
The little strap.
because
You're using the pink for it.
yeah. Sorry, more crinkling. Because it's in this other bag. I thought this beautiful bright fuchsia to do my edges in. You can see a little
Well,
bit
it's already,
of
you already
detail.
kind of, is it
Yeah.
that? Oh, that's a different yarn.
No, I used
Yeah.
purple yarn to
Oh.
with my provisional cast on as well, but it's not the same.
That's right, yeah.
Um,
It feels like a super wash.
I think it's just acrylic.
It's easier to unravel when it's not as grippy.
Yeah. No, it'll be slick. It'll be
Yeah.
slick.
Yeah, no, nice.
But super excited for this.
Have that done in no time.
Yeah.
Especially now it's just a little bit more colour work, and then
I thought about
Zoom in.
extending the color work.
actually I was very tempted with this one to do the colour work all the way down, like in this one. So I think this one is my redo. I was like, I really wanted to make this an all over thing. Decided not to, but then I had to do it in this one.
I'll see if
I think it would look
my
really cool.
stitch counts match. I might think I'll have enough because I can make mine a little bit longer, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I think this one I actually didn't make shorter than the pattern. I actually wrote it short and just decided that everyone can extend it to the length that they want.
well, if it works for you,
Yeah. Usually I do write it longer.
I don't know if I've ever seen. Have I seen this one?
I'm not sure. It's been
Because I
around for a
love
while.
those colors.
So this is the same yarn construction. It's a single ply yarn. It's a Zeolana Heron, which is a merino possum single.
I was just
spun
gonna say
yarn.
that's very
Yeah.
soft.
It looks the same.
It
as
does
Lope.
actually.
And it has the same sort of heathered colour. I think the only negative with this yarn is that the colour range is not super wide. So especially with colour work, you kind of don't have as much to go with, but this teal is just gorgeous.
That's fabulous, and it's really, again, it's got that heathered.
Yeah.
Um,
We're going to be matching. Partially matching.
yeah.
But yeah, using different colours, it does really change the look of the colour work as well.
The one thing I love about it is that the chart is so super manageable. And once, like literally once I do like 1 or 2 repeats, I'm
Then
away.
you remember it, yeah.
And I can just, and that to me is like TV knitting. So I've actually knit this while binging How to Get to Heaven from Belfast, which is
good?
Yeah, it's a fabulous show on Netflix.
I've been binging Outlander this week. I've been working on the samples for the other pieces for this collection, and I've been rewatching because it just ended, was it 2 weeks ago, I think, the last episode, so I had to go back to the beginning.
Do you want to talk about the other one?
Sure.
A little preview for everybody?
I have most of the samples knit up. So this is the cowl pattern. It's called the snow gum cowl, and it's actually made with the same motif that is in the snow gum vest pattern that I designed for the Line It 10-year anniversary issue, and I think by the time this comes out the pre-sale has started, so I can actually reveal that, but it is coming out in late July, so not quite at the same time as the rest of the collection, but I still, because the inspiration for the collection was Tasmania, and probably more specifically the nature in Tasmania, because we just spent 5 weeks there last November, and I loved it, and I took so many photos.
I love Tasmania. Yeah, I would move there.
We're already planning our next trip.
Excellent.
Or maybe next 2, I don't know. We actually ended up going back to work on the colours for the pepperberry jumper with Karina from Louie and Lola Yarns, and we spent 3 days developing all the 6 colourways we're doing for the kits that I'll have at the sheep show in 2 weeks. So we had a lot of fun. Anyway, so that's the cowl pattern.
I'll put it on.
Model it for me. And also,
I love a little tie. Could you do the tie in like a superwash?
Yeah.
And then the other.
Or you could even use. Yeah, I just need a little I-cord for the tie. It's got little folded edges.
I love a folded edge.
Yeah, and this is actually a good skill builder project, I think, because if you haven't done folded edges before, you get to do the cast on edge, folded edge, and the bind off edge, folded edge, and also if you're already familiar with colour work, you get a little bit of an extra skill where you have the colour work with shaping, so you get these curved shapes because you actually incorporated increases and decreases in the colour work pattern as well, and there's a little bit of purling there as well, so it's got a bit of everything, and the I-cord as well, which could be anything really.
Alright, I'm going to ask you, did you use an I-cord maker?
I don't have one.
I don't either.
So I'm an I-cord maker. I've been wanting to try one.
You would have used DPNs for it, hey?
I actually used a circular because
oh my gosh,
I love doing things the hard way. It's just what I had. I finished knitting it, and I was like, I'm just gonna whatever, doesn't matter. And it actually came together really quickly, and then I just did tiny little knots at the end, and these little basically 2 little buttonholes here to get it through. And also Louie and Lola Yarns. These are not actually this is my design sample, this is the rough draft. So this is not the sort of final colours, but there's 3 beautiful colourways that I will be getting ready for the show as well. But I actually do really like these. Actually, these ones were developed for the vest. The vest is actually worked in like a olivey green colour and a light grey, because the name snow gum refers to sort of like not just in Tasmania but in Australia in general, you have these tree trunks that are kind of doing all kinds of cool twisty shapes. So I really wanted to kind of reflect the colours, and the snow gum trunk is kind of a light grey as well.
It reminds me of this, it's like a painter from the 1800s that went to Tasmania to follow his children there. And he was from England, and he painted lots of Tasmanian landscapes, and all of the trees have this like Dr. Seuss quality of like,
But I think coming from Europe, it's a very distinctive feature of the Australian bush, those shapes. We don't really get a lot of that sort of shapes in our forests anyway. So these colours were, so Karina developed a few different colours based on some photos that I sent her to reflect the Tassie landscape. And these were some of the colours that didn't end up in the vest, so they were kind of sample scans, and I just used them to make this cow design
sample. It's very cozy.
It actually looks nice with that jumper. But yeah, I actually love those colours together.
And is this Polwarth?
Yeah, that's her 8-ply Polwarth woolen spun.
It's just so...
It's really squishy. It's great for colour work knitting because it's grippy. It's softer. It's quite soft. I would say it's quite soft, but it still has that sort of grippiness to it.
It's as soft as the heron.
Yeah, it's kind of a fluffy, lofty yarn.
Yeah.
So it's the same yarn as what the vest uses as well. So that's that one. We have the pepperberry mitts.
So cute.
Actually, whenever I put it on, I don't want to take it off.
It feels
like
so nice.
It hugs the hand. So it's a very sort of fitted little mitt. It uses the same slip stitch pattern from the jumper, but in a slightly different arrangement, a little detail at the end as well, and a little bit of twisted ribbing at the ends, and the thumb gusset as well has got the all over twisted ribbing.
I think that really is nice for the shaping.
It actually really
it hugs
the
into your hand.
And I just liked that little bit of like visual interest without competing too much with the stitch pattern, something different, and that actually when you're working it helps you really see where the thumb gusset is as well. Helps you keep track. That's a 4-ply pattern. Again, this is my design sample, not the final colours, but I'm working with Sarah from Bombed Yarns. So all the dyes that I'm working with for this collection have a connection to Tasmania. So yeah, Karina from Louis and Lola, based in Sheffield, Sarah from Bombed Yarns, based in Hobart, and I'm using her Bellevue Park 4-ply base for the final pattern sample mittens, and there'll be 3 different colour combos coming, and I just had a meeting with her this morning about the final colours, and I'm really excited. I think they're going to be very pretty, and they'll kind of, all the colours of the different patterns will kind of coordinate with each other, so it should be a fairly cohesive situation. And I've tried to have different styles and different motifs, so they're not all the same thing, but should still kind of go together.
Well, that's very exciting.
And then last piece, this is probably the least representative of the design.
Really, I think it actually is fantastic to see the design process.
So this is the swatch that I used to design this, and it's going to be very similar to what you see here, but just bigger. It actually doesn't even have a name currently. It probably will by the time this comes out, but currently doesn't have a name. But this was inspired, so going back, the pepperberry obviously is inspired by the pepperberry, so the little details in the pepperberry bush and the berries and the leaves and the twigs. And this one's actually, it's not actually obvious at all with this one, but especially these colours, again, not the final colours.
I was going to say lizards.
I actually really like these colours together.
They are beautiful.
Lizards. Actually,
I was just thinking green.
Yeah. Anyway. You've been to Bay of Fires?
I think I have not, actually, because our last trip we went to Freycinet.
So it's just above that.
Yeah, we didn't go up that far.
But anyway, it's kind of inspired by the sort of the East Coast, but specifically Bay of Fires. Not directly translatable, but I was looking at there's a lot of like these rocky, bouldery beaches, and they have this really bright orange lichen sort of growing at the waterline.
Yeah.
You've probably seen the photos, sort of the grey, they look like granite, I'm not sure what they are. But the rocks, and they're all like curved and rounded because, you know, shaped by the water.
Yeah.
So I wanted to really explore like big round shapes. So I don't think you really get the boulders out of this shape in the end, but that was the starting point.
It's representative though, right?
It's kind of an artistic interpretation, and then you have the Tsuri alpacas, kind of like the mist in the air that you get when the water hits the rocks, and you have the different textures representing the different materials, and this edging is kind of representing the orange lichen in the waterline, kind of like that strong line. So that's kind of the story, and I'm working with Susan from Ash and Eve Yarns for the yarns that I will have at Bendigo for this, and I'm actually getting the yarns delivered on Tuesday. So we're at the end of May now. I saw them on a video call yesterday, so it's all happening.
Everything's happening. So much to do to get ready.
So I'm going to be furiously knitting the sample. The pattern is written because it's kind of all... It'll be slightly different to what you see here, but not much.
Bigger?
It'll be bigger.
Is it going to be a mini one?
I think there'll be just one size for now, anyway. But it's very easily adjustable. Like if you want to make it smaller or bigger, you could. It's kind of a modular construction. You can just keep adding these sections. Because they all kind of, the shaping around one of these sections is the same. So you have the start, you have the middle sections, you have the center section, then you have the declining middle sections, and then you have the end. And then depending on how many of these you make, you could, you know, make it however big you want, really. But it's roughly this shape, with some additional detailing coming for the final version. And yeah, Susan from Ash and Eve, she doesn't live in Tasmania anymore, but she did grow up along the east coast of Tassie, near Bicheno.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the connection to Tassie, and her sister Wendy from...
keep your knit together.
Is it keep or get? Keep.
I think it's keep.
Keep your knit together. Sorry, Wendy, if you're listening. She's making some really cute project bags to kind of coordinate with the collection. So that's
my gosh, are you going to have those at Bendigo too?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Someone's stall is going to be busy.
Hopefully. Hope so. I'm definitely going to be busy leading up to it.
Yeah,
that's for sure. So that's the little collection and the little previews. And I will have the snow gum vest there as well, even though it's not released yet. They promised to send it back to me early so I can have it there.
Fabulous.
And
this feels like a cloud.
I wanted to call it, like I keep thinking clouds, but Petite Knits has taken all the good cloud names. Like. I'll think of something. No new pieces anymore, but just for if someone wants to see a bit of design process. This is the earlier version of the mitts. It's not even finished. It's a larger size as well, so it looks a bit bigger. But this is the original cuff design, which matches the jumper design perfectly. And it turned into actually a very subtle change.
But you can see how something so seemingly insignificant makes a pretty big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does. So, yeah, that's the collection.
Yay!
Hope it's all done by the time this comes out.
No, we're going to love it, and we are looking forward to Bendigo and the Bendigo project and all that. Oh.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the meetup again. That was so much fun last time.
It was.
And that's on the Saturday.
At
18th of July,
2 o'clock
2 o'clock.
at the Hot Jam Donut Van.
Yeah, which is right next to the main gates. So you should hopefully find a big gaggle of makers.
I think, fingers crossed.
So what have you made for it?
I've just made my Noble.
Oh yes,
Which is here.
that you finally got back.
That I finally
Karen's
got back.
been so kind and let me travel around the country with her Noble jumper. I was showing it's been to Adelaide, Canberra, different parts of Victoria.
Yeah. I love this jumper. In fact, I might wear it tonight to the football.
When you finally have it back. Yeah, thank you for letting
And
me.
it blocked out. Thank you for blocking it. And did you weave in the ends? Did you have to weave in the ends for
Not
me?
for this one. That was something else. No, that one was done. Yeah, I blocked it for you though.
Oh, it looks amazing blocked. And this Faye yarn from Fiber Art Shed is chef's kiss.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty well liked at the markets too.
So this is actually the only thing I've made so far. I've got a sheep show beanie on the go. Yeah, there's plenty of time to participate. We've got the cal going on
Yeah.
now, like
Yep.
because
Yeah, until Bendigo.
yeah,
So
even
it's
if
still
you
6 weeks.
well, as it comes out,
Yeah.
we will have about 2 weeks. So depending on how much time you spend knitting, if you're, I could do a beanie in 2 weeks, have that done, but
Yeah. Do you know how long it takes me to be?
we could probably do one in one at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 ply.
Yeah.
But it's actually, I only do it if I have a deadline. I don't really, like, it's not enjoyable anymore because it actually starts to hurt your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not really fun.
Anyway, so really looking forward to that. Hoping to see lots of you at Bendigo. I'll be there Friday and Saturday.
And I'll be there the whole time. I have my usual stall at Noble, so where the fashion parades are, and I will have some guest stars at the stall as well. We haven't planned for any times, but Karina will definitely be there at certain times, and Susan from Ash and Eve.
Oh,
I think I'm 90% sure that she's coming as well, and her sister Wendy might also be there. So
that would be so special.
yeah. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
for
it is.
For the Tassie collection.
Yeah,
Have the representation.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be looking forward to it. Me and my Bendigo housemates who will be attending again together in our posse, our podcaster posse. Anyway.
Yeah. It's so fun. I wish one day I could attend the event the same way. Like, it sounds like such a fun weekend away.
Yeah, yeah.
With your knitting friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I leave that weekend so, like, spiritually full is really the way that I can describe it. And I'm just basically walking on cloud 9 for a week and, Bendiglo.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Even though it's really lovely, I think for us who are vending, it's a slightly different experience.
Well, you are working, right? Like, it's
like, it is amazing and we get all the positive feels as well, but it's also a very intense sort of period of hard work.
And there's only one of you and there's like hundreds of us, right? Like, yeah.
But it's always amazing, regardless.
Yeah, I know. We love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Is that all for today?
I think so. It's kind of covered all the bases.
All right.
Just look forward to seeing everyone at the stall as well, of course, but also at the meetup. And I'll be wearing my own patterns, but I made Tessa's socks.
Excellent.
The male clad socks. I already finished them, and I'm gonna make Kath's sheep show mitts. And I'm colour coordinating this year.
Fabulous.
Kind of. They're not all matchy, but yeah. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Amazing. All right. Well, until next time, until our next deep dive.
Yeah, wonder what we'll do next. If you have any suggestions, it's going to be garment type, so if you have a specific one you'd like to do next, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
As we really have not decided on the next one yet.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, open to suggestions.
Fantastic. Would love to hear from you.
I think that means that we're done.
I think that means we're done.
That's all, folks.
Until next time, happy knitting.
Happy knitting.